Buying and selling a home at the same time is probably one of the most misunderstood parts of real estate. I get questions weekly about, can we buy before we sell our current home? Do we have to sell our home to buy? What even is a contingency? And do we always have to move twice? So I put together a quick presentation that breaks down the 4 most common strategies that we use in helping our clients, the pros and cons of each one, and how we help our clients decide which one makes the most sense for their family. So let's jump in. Let's start off by just talking about what even is a sale contingency. A contingency basically is you saying to a seller, I want to buy your home after I sell my home. Pictured here in the middle is a number of different ways that can happen, which we will discuss in more detail on the next couple slides. But there's actually a form in Texas called the sale of other property contingency. And it basically says that the funds from my current home are going to be used to purchase your home. It does give you the right to cancel the contract, terminate the contract, and receive your earnest money back if your home does not sell. So it does give you the protection of not owning 2 homes at one time. It, however, also gives the seller a little bit of protection in that if you are under contract with them, your home has not sold yet or is not under contract yet, and another buyer comes along and they don't have a contingency, the seller can come in to you and say, hey, Mr. Buyer, do you want to remove your contingency and move forward? Or do you want to cancel the contract? If your home is under contract, you may choose to move forward. If it hasn't sold yet, you're probably going to want to cancel the contract. That's the protections that a contingency gives you. Strategy number 1 is best for buyers who want to have the strongest negotiating position or want to be the pickiest. So this is where you would sell your current home, you would move to temporary housing, and that can look like a number of different things. And then while you're living in temporary housing, you find a home that you've been dreaming of. Why people choose this: you have more time to find the right home. You'll have a stronger offer because you do not have a home to sell. So this is actually not involving a contingency because your home has been sold. You'll often net more money from the sale of your home because you won't be rushed to sell it. You'll have time to stage and position and market it correctly to get the top dollar. And there's less pressure to make a quick decision using this strategy. Things to consider though, obviously you're going to be moving twice using this strategy. Temporary housing is needed, whether that's family, an Airbnb, a short-term rental, maybe even a long-term rental for some people. And so obviously you'll need additional movers and storage options. Strategy number 2 is what most people favor, and it's where we would close on a property on both properties on the same day. So what this looks like is that you would list your current home. So you would focus, number 1, on staging, decluttering, getting ready for media. And a lot of times we have our media done before we even start looking. So you would list your home. Once it gets under contract, then we start looking for the next home. A lot of times we're negotiating like a 45 or 60-day close on your current home so that you have a few weeks to find your next home. People choose this because it is one move. You would be, if everything would line up appropriately, and that would mean lease backs on both properties or a lease back on your current property so that you could get in and start moving, since we really can never move everything on one day. It's something that we're able to negotiate often, but it does take everyone kind of working together. So we would need a buyer and seller on both sides that are very cooperative, but it does mean one move for you. No need for temporary housing, and it's usually a smooth transition into your next home. Things to consider when using this strategy is there usually are fewer homes to choose from because we're waiting until your home is under contract. So you're kind of just getting to pull from what is actively available. Your offer may be less competitive because it is contingent upon your home selling. Now, in this situation, we would hopefully have an offer on your home before we would make an offer on your next home, which does make you a little bit more competitive. Obviously, timing requires very careful coordination. We do it all the time, but we do need you to understand that there needs to be flexibility on everyone's end. Number three is this happens a lot when people are not intending or not really planning to move, but the home that you've always dreamt about has come on the market, or your neighbor's house that has a pool came on the market. So in order to get that, we have to make an offer on that home before you're able to list your current home. I think ideally this is how everyone would want to move, but in all honesty, this is the most difficult to pull off. So this is using a contingency. And in Texas, again, that contract does not even tell the seller that you will list your home. It just says that you need the funds from your current home to purchase their home. So it doesn't give the seller a lot of confidence in that you're even going to list at a good price, that it will sell quickly. And so they're kind of at your mercy when waiting really for your buyer until their home can close. So obviously people choose this because you can secure your dream home before anyone else. You avoid settling on a home that you don't want. So this would also maybe be a buyer that starts looking at homes before they have prepped their home, and they find a home, we want to make an offer on it, but we haven't even put your home on the market yet. This option does give you time to sell your current home, but it is dependent on what you and the seller of your next home agree upon. Some will give you 30 days, some will give you 60 days, and often some sellers won't consider this option because your home is not even on the market. Things to consider. You may need to make a more competitive offer on your next because the seller is taking some risk in your home not selling. You also may have to price your home at or below market so that it will sell quickly, ensuring that you get this new home. And again, this is one of the most difficult strategies because you are asking to purchase a property with the funds from your current home when your current home isn't even on the market. So it's hard to convince a seller that that's a great idea. Unless there's just no other competition, this can be a really difficult strategy. Strategy number 4 is where you would purchase your new home and potentially close on it and then sell your next home. So this one also does not technically involve a contingency contract because you are not purchasing your new home contingent on the sale of your current home. This is a very smooth transition for a lot of families that can pull it off. Things to consider are that you would have to qualify for 2 mortgages. So depending on what your current equity position is, this may be a great opportunity for you. It does allow you to make a non-contingent offer, which is always stronger. And it does also allow you to have more prep time to sell your current home. So you typically are getting better pricing or able to get a higher price for your current home and some choose to stay living in that home until it sells, and then others will move out, kind of freshen everything up. This one does require lender approval, again, because you are owning 2 homes. And so you'll need plan timing on that one as well. It is probably the least stressful, but it does take a little bit more financial risk than some of these other options. So there isn't just one right strategy. It really depends on your finances, your timing, the current market, whether you're competing with other buyers, and how quickly homes are selling. So contingency offers were something that no seller would consider in 2021, 2022. You had to sell your home first. We are starting to see 2026 sellers being more open, mostly when clients list their home and have an offer. Then we're able to make an offer on another property. When we don't have your home even in MLS yet, sellers don't want to take that risk of your home not selling. If you have any questions about these strategies, we'd love to deep dive further with you. Just reach out.